Hello guys, good morning. You are welcome to my YouTube channel, the SPC Tutorials, and my name is Dr. Joseph. In today's video, I'll be taking us PVB 111, seedless plants. This is not the first video on this topic. You know that these seedless plants are divided into three divisions. We have the Hepatophyta, Anthocerophyta, and the Bryophyta. Okay, I've taken Hepatophyta already and the general features of the Bryophytes. Okay, in today's video, I'll be taking us the Hepatophyta and Bryophyta. Let me just write it as number 2. Okay, I'll be taking us Anthocerophyta. Now, I told us in our initial class that the Anthocerophyta, the organisms found there are called what? Anthoceros, and they are called what? Hornworts. They are called what? Hornworts. They are called hornworts because they look like the horn of what? Cattle. They look like the horn of what? Cattle. Take note of that. Now, these Anthocerophyta or these hornworts, they are found in moist soil, shady places, and some are even found in trees. All right, they are usually found in moist soil, shady places, and trees. Okay, these are the places they are found. In our initial class, I told us that water is needed for what? Fertilization process, for there to be fusion of the gametes and the egg, of the sperm and the egg. There must be what? Water must be what? Present, which means that water acts as what? Medium of what? Fertilization. It must be what? Present. Okay, now moist soil, shady places, and what? Trees. Now, I also told us that bryophyte generally lack what? Vascular bundles. They do not have xylem and what? Phloem, and sometimes what? Cambium. Okay, which is another striking features of these guys. Now, they have what is called primitive conducting tissue called columena. All right, the primitive conducting tissue called columena helps in the shedding of the spores. Helps in what? Shedding of the spores. All right, please take note of that. The columena is possessed by the hornworts. They are not found in the mosses. They are not found in the liverworts. Columena is found only in hornworts. Okay, and they are primitive conducting tissues. They help in the shedding of what? Spores. All right, take note of that. And secondly, the sporophytic stage of this hornworts, they have stomata. They have stomata and what? Sporophytic foods for what? Water absorption. This sporophytic food is for what? Water absorption. Then this stomata helps in what? Gaseous exchange. It also prevents the excess loss of what? Water from the plants. Take note of that. Now, the leafy gametophytic stage or the leafy gametophyte has pores. Right, the gametophyte of this plant has what? Pores, and this pores is made up of what? Mucilage. Mucilage is like a gummy substance. Okay, it contains what? Mucilage. This mucilage contains what? Nitrogen fixing bacteria. Right, nitrogen fixing what? Bacteria. Okay, I said this leafy gametophyte has pores, and these pores, on this side of them you have the mucilage. The mucilage has what? Nitrogen fixing what? Bacteria. Please take note of that. Now, these hornworts could be monoecious or dioecious. A monoecious plant or if you don't call them monoecious plants, you call them what? a unisexual plant. A monoecious plant is a plant that's okay. No, if I don't call it monoecious plant, I'll call it bisexual plant. All right, bisexual. That is to say that both the male and female reproductive organ are found in one plant. Okay, the same thing is also what bisexual. The word bi means what two. Now in this case, I said they could be monoecious or dioecious. They are monoecious in the sense that the antheridia and the archegonia are found in the same thallus. They are found in the same thallus. If they are dioecious or unisexual, if they are dioecious or unisexual, it means that their reproductive organs are found in different or separate what thalli. Look at it. Thallus is singular. Okay, let me use thalli, plural. Okay, monoecious or bisexual means the process whereby the male and female Arteridia and Archegonia respectively are found in the same mode, thalli. Alright? They are dioecious or monoecious when they are found in on separate or in different or thalli. Take note of that. Now, they undergo both asexual and sexual mode of reproduction. As asexual reproduction, it is through segmentation or fragmentation. All right, asexual reproduction is by segmentation or fragmentation. Take note of that. Segmentation or what? Fragmentation. That is the words. And two serify. That is the horn word. But as for the liverworts, asexual reproduction occurs in a German cup. German cup, I told you, has tiny tissues called what? Germae. When rain or dew enters into the German cup, it triggers the movement of the germae from the cup, thereby producing a new sporophytic plant. So that's how it is. So please, asexual reproduction is by what? Segmentation or fragmentation. Okay, take note of that. Then sexual reproduction is by the production of what? Spores. Production of spores. Now I told you that the antherizoid is the male gametes. It is the male gametes. Right? If you don't understand this very well, I will advise you play the part 1, because this is part 2 of this video. I'm concluding this topic right now. Please, the antherizoid is a male gametes, while the egg or ovum is a female gametes. Now, as soon as this antherizoid is produced, all right, it travels to the ventral region. Now, I told us in our previous class that the male gametangium, which is the gamete producing cells, they are divided into two parts, the ventral region and the neck region. Fertilization occurs in the ventral region of what? The gametangium. Take note of that. Now, I said that the antherizoid will move by using what? The flagella. It swims with the use of what? Flagella to the ventral region of the gametangium. Now, one of these antherizoid fuses with the egg to produce what? A zygote. A zygote or oospore. All right. This oospore is what? Diploid. Diploid oospore. Right? It produces what? A diploid oospore. It is diploid. The diploid oospore is produced from the fertilization of the antherizoid and what? The egg. Zygote or what? Oospore, and it's usually what? Diploid. Now, this diploid oospore produce develops into what? Sporogonium. And this sporogonium is what? Pear-shaped. This sporogonium is what? Pear-shaped. It is this sporogonium that is what? That is the sporophytic stage of the plant, and it is what? Diploid. It is what? The sporophytic stage of the plant, and it is what? Diploid. Now, there's what we call independent sporogenous cells. There are some sporogenous cells found in the in the sporogonium. Now, these sporogenous cells found in the sporogonium undergoes meiosis. It undergoes meiosis to produce what? A haploid what? Oospore. Alright? Mitosis, okay? The fusion of these and these produce what? A diploid oospore. This first oospore produced from the fusion of this and this is diploid, which develops into what? A sporogonium, and it is what? Pear-shaped structure. Now, this sporogonium develops into what? The sporophytic stage, and it's what? Diploid. Now, the sporogenous cells found in the sporogonium undergo meiosis to produce what? A haploid oospore. Now, this haploid oospore produced germinates and produce what? A haploid gametophytic what? Stage. A haploid gametophyte. Please, the gametophyte is haploid, while the sporophyte is what? Diploid. Please take note of that. So this is all about hornworts. Please, I believe everything was well explained. Please, a good example of hornworts is the Anthoceros proctactus. Alright, Anthoceros proctactus is what? A good example of hornworts. Take note of that. The last one we are taking is Bryophytes, and this way you have mosses. Now, mosses, they have peculiar characteristics. First thing first, I told you that general bryophyte, they lack what? Vascular bundles. These mosses, they lack vascular bundles, and these vascular bundles are the xylem and what? Phloem. Take note of that. Now, they don't have what? They don't have mesophyll layer and stomata. You can see that stomata. Mosses, they lack vascular bundles, that is the xylem and the phloem. They do not have mesophyll layer and what? Stomata. Please take note of that. Oh, it is very important. Now, their leafy gametophytes. Their leafy gametophyte looks like that of what? Water leaf, small water leaf. Water leaf is called what? Carlinium triangulare. Right? This leafy gametophyte looks like small water leaf, and water leaf is what? Carlinium triangulare. Please take note of that. Now, I told that this leafy gametophyte is usually what? Haploid. Okay. They also possess the sporophytic stage, which is definitely what? Diploid. Definitely what? Diploid. Okay. Now, how do they some of these mosses, some of them are monoecious. That is possessing both the male and female reproductive organ on the same tally. A good example is what? Funaria. Yes, capital letter. Funaria hygrometrica. Hygrometrica. Funaria hygrometrica is what? A monoecious or bisexual what? Moss. Is a monoecious or bisexual what? Moss. Please take note of that. Then some of them could be dioecious or unisexual. A monoecious plant can also be called what? A bisexual plant. Alright, a dioecious plant can also be called what? A unisexual plant, because it possesses just the male or female reproductive organ on different thalli. Now, a good example of a dioecious moss is the Polytrichum common. Alright, the Polytrichum common is what? A dioecious or what? Unisexual plant. So please take note of that. It is very, very important. Now, at maturity, how do they undergo or how do they reproduce? At maturity, the gametophyte produces what is called a bud. That is bud. Alright? That is at maturity, the gamete produces what? A bud. That is bud. Now, this bud undergoes mitosis and develops into another what? Gametophyte stage. Alright. Now this gametophyte stage definitely will produce what? We have the rhizoid. Okay, no, antherizoid. Antherizoid. Oh good. Antherizoid. Now this antherizoid would fertilize the egg to produce the embryo. Please, normally in hornwort and liverworts, when the antherizoid fertilizes the egg, all right, it produces what? A diploid oospore. But in this case, it is not. When it fertilizes the egg, it produces what? Embryo. It is this embryo that will now develop into a diploid. Is it diploid now? That will now develop into what? A diploid oospore. It produces what? A diploid oospore. Now this diploid oospore produced develops into what? Sporophytes. And this sporophyte definitely is what? Diploid. Alright. Now, inside the sporophytes, we have that is spore mother cells. Spore mother cells. Now, these spore mother cells undergo meiosis. These spore mother cells undergo meiosis to produce 4 haploid. They undergo meiosis to produce what? 4 haploid spore or haploid. Okay, 4 haploid spore. Okay. Now this 4 haploid spore will now germinate to form what is called protonema. All right. As soon as this haploid spore is produced, it develops into protonema. When this protonema germinates, it now produces what? The haploid gametophytes. Produce what? The haploid gametophytes. I said that this bud, at maturity, this gametophyte produces what? A bud. This bud will now develop to produce a gametophyte stage or gametophytic what? Stage. Now, you know that the male reproductive organ is called what? Antheridia. It will produce the antherizoid. This antherizoid at the ventral region of the gametangium, that is of the female gametangium, it fertilizes the egg by the movement of what? The flagella to produce what? An embryo. Please. The fusion of the antherizoid and egg will produce embryo first. It is this embryo that will now develop into what? A diploid oospore. This diploid oospore will now We now develop into what is called sporangium. I jumped a step. Definitely, sporangium is always formed first. Sporogonium. No. Thank God I just checked it again. As soon as this embryo develops into a diploid oospore, it develops into what? A sporogonium. This sporogonium has spore mother cells. I think I wrote it somewhere just now. There are spore mother cells. Okay, this sporogonium first will develop into what? This sporophytic stage, which is the sporophyte, and it is what? Diploid. It is this sporophyte that is what? The recessive stage of this guy. Now, these spore mother cells in the sporangium will undergo what? Meiosis to produce 4 haploid oospore, which will now develop into what? Protonema. Protonema is restricted to just mosses, okay? Then protonema will germinate, all right, into what is called what? Haploid gametophyte. Conclusively, general bryophyte, haploid is gametophyte, diploid is what? Sporophyte, okay? And sporophyte is recessive, then gametophyte is what? A dominant. Take note of that. So examples of mosses are, what are some examples of mosses? Not some. I'll give you all the examples given on the textbook. We have the, okay, I think I gave it to you before. We have the Funera hygrometrica. We have the Polytrichum common. And we have the Babula indica. All right, we have the Babula indica. Please take note of that. These are the 3 examples of mosses as used in the